called me and they were asking. Hello, everyone. Good morning to some, good evening or afternoon to others. Welcome to our webinar for week 3 on the topic of LinkedIn, creating a compelling profile, improving your profile, using LinkedIn to help you find some employment. And we have our guest speaker, Jesse Salu, and Johnson Abuto, WMI colleague, and he will be the moderator. I will go into the background, and Johnson will be leading you. And Jesse is well versed in social media and exploring avenues for finding new ways to connect with people on social media, online, with work connections, using your background to enhance your job prospects. And we look forward to hearing more from Jesse. So I think I'll hand it over to Johnson. All right.
Yes, welcome guys. My name is Johnson, just like Lisa has mentioned. I can see we have 8 attendees, and for the sake of time, we'll begin. So we have our speaker today, Jesse Salu. Is a common market. Sorry, just a minute. Yeah. So we have Jesse, who is going to be our speaker today. And briefly, I want to take you guys through the agenda that we're going to discuss today. Part 1 of this will be creating a secure LinkedIn profile, which will take about 15 to 20 minutes. And all this will be led by our guest speaker today. And then part 2, we will talk about what is your work profile and why it's important for you. Because as you all know that LinkedIn profile, if it is not attractive, or if it is attractive, then you can end up landing into jobs, or the people who are looking for people to employ can search for whatever portfolio they're looking for, and then they can pick you. And so it is important for your profile or portfolio to be so attractive and catching. The second part of it, the third part of this meeting or webinar today will be Q&A session, which will last 15 to 20 minutes again. At this point, we'll allow you as the attendees to ask questions, and our speaker will be able to answer them accordingly. So I'll hand it back to Mr. Jesse to take it away and begin this conversation today. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Johnson. Yeah, welcome everyone to the webinar. So inspired by all of you and the change that Rolls Mountain is bringing in the education sector. I mean, rarely do we get your privilege to get such opportunities to be inspired and to be equipped with knowledge and competence that you will need, right, on your next phase of life. Yeah, so as introduced, my name is Jesse Salu. I'm well versed, experienced in communications, and I think I'll be in a very good position to speak about what we're going to learn today. because I've spent quite a number of years in the sector and have been able to learn one of few things that we will be able to share today. So using LinkedIn is what we are going to majorly focus on, and I'll just take you through one or two tips that you will need in order to be really have a good LinkedIn and profile, an interesting work profile that will land you opportunities anywhere. So I will share my slides. Just a minute. So LinkedIn, as I'm sharing the slides, I'll just start introducing LinkedIn. Yeah. So LinkedIn was is a social media network that was started like a few years ago in 2003. And LinkedIn has been able to
Hello, Ms. Jesse. It seems you are muted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I think I've connection issues, but we'll resolve it. Yeah, so I'll just start by introducing a bit, giving a bit of background about LinkedIn before I can share the slides, which is becoming quite onerous. But
Jesse, I can share if you'd like.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Let me, okay, share my screen.
Great. Thank you.
Second, share screen. Is that helpful?
Fantastic. Yeah. That's so nice. So we can present the first.
Oh, let me get back. I was looking at them before. Sorry.
All right.
Here we go.
All right, great. Yeah, so creating a successful LinkedIn profile. So an overview of LinkedIn, right? So it was founded by Reid Hoffman and other engineers in 2003 as a website, right? So it's they came together. They just came up with that idea of how can we be able to connect people professionally. Yeah. At that time, Facebook was becoming more and more popular, and Twitter was also becoming like booming in the market. But they noticed a gap that people who are in the professional world are not able to really interact. Yeah. And there were only like two major sites that people could use to get jobs, right? Which was quite limiting to them. And they thought of what if we bring a social network that will merge and connect people from different areas, different parts of the world professionally, right? And that's when they came up with LinkedIn. LinkedIn just started as a website where you could go and look for job postings from different companies, right? And then you could just apply or send them an email, and that was it, right? So that they later on innovated like their unique value proposition, right, which was connecting people in the professional world, right, and in a common social media platform, right? So if it's Facebook, Facebook is literally connects you to people you've met before and people you maybe you could know, right? People within your circle. But now this one will connect you to people who are in your field of interest. For instance, if Johnson is doing, is an engineer, right? And I'm also maybe an engineer or a data scientist, right? So I'll be able to connect to him easily, right? So that one was their unique proposition, and they ran with the idea, right? So they later introduced new features to allow companies to advertise jobs and connect with potential candidates. And initially went on initial public offering, yeah, which is a term used in the stock exchange market, but it was valued for over 353 million US dollars, right? So this is a startup that has just begun growing, and you can see the kind of massive potential that it had to even grow over the years, right? So that was in 2005 when it went on IPO. 2007, its number of users rose to 15 million, right? They just started by the first month, they had like 4,500 users, but with time, the numbers rose to 15 million by 2007, 100 million by 2011, and currently over 600 million people, and the number has even gone up, are on LinkedIn. Statistics says that in every 3 seconds, one person in the world is joining LinkedIn. So you can see how great and how massive this social media platform is. That if you are not part of this change, it will be hard for you in future because people will have moved. Imagine 600 million people with professional titles connecting and sharing ideas, sharing opportunities over just one platform, right? So this is something that I would endorse you. Like after this session, I'm just going to take you through some opportunities and how you can get started. So the importance of networking in job search, right? Everyone right now may be looking for jobs, and everyone at some point in time will be involved in the action of like looking for opportunities, right? But you need to know that networking is a very critical and integral part of seeking jobs, right? One, statistics also say that 85% of jobs are never advertised. If I am the director of Microsoft and I know Johnson does data, right? Or Lisa is good at communication, I can just tell them, Lisa, please submit your resume, and there's a job offer here. I tell Johnson that please just submit resume, show up for the interview, then we'll take you in, right? So 85% of the jobs are never advertised, and they're majorly reliant upon networking. So when you go and you interact with a person and they give you a card, and that's how 85% of the jobs are got. So these other ones that you see online, that the other 15%, they only make up for 50%, and it's just a small number, right? So you can see by being on LinkedIn, you have a social network, you have a broad network all over the world. So getting a job is really easy, right? And networking will also help you acquire skills in your area of interest, discover new trends in different disciplines, right? For instance, if we are all engineers and able to learn about what another engineer is doing, what are some of the emerging trends, what are some of the potential markets that we could be able to leverage in right now in order to achieve scalable impact, right? So I'll be able to gain a lot of skills, a lot of expertise in that. And that one will also help me like building my work profile, right? Because if maybe I've graduated and I have a degree in political science, right? And I'm connecting with other people who've done the same thing, I'm able to grow and to develop because I have access to a broad network in my specific field of interest, right? So that becomes an important thing. Then you're also visible to senior management, right? When you go on LinkedIn and you're able to search for different kind of opportunities. People are able to see your profile, right? For instance, if I'm an employer and I'm looking for a chief operations officer, right? I'll look for people who have interest and have experience in operations. So I will go on LinkedIn and type operations, and then all the people who have had experiences in that, their names will pop up, right? We'll talk about keywords later on. Their names will pop up. So that means your name is actually, and your profile is more visible to their employer partner or to their senior management who's looking for potential people, right? And most of them right now are shifting to advertising jobs on their platforms to directly going on LinkedIn and looking for people. And there are people specifically employed for that. Great, next slide, please. Then you can also be able to connect to Pathfinders. Yeah, I'll want to talk about this. Who actually knows any of the faces on the screen? You can just type. Right. Johnson, you'll help me read from the right on the chat. Right. Great. Who knows any face? You can identify, recognize any face on the screen. Anyone, feel free to type. Feel free to, if there's a possibility of maybe us hearing your voices as well, it will be great. But yeah, those are really prominent faces, right? And I know most of you are familiar with it, especially those who are fans of basketball. You can be able to recognize these faces, right? So connecting, I'll just talk about connecting to Pathfinders, yeah, by using your LinkedIn, yeah. So when you're on LinkedIn and you're trying to connect to different people, right? You're able to be visible to people from different areas and from different levels of knowledge, right? And that enables you to find people who can actually mentor you and coach you and guide you through different points in your career, yeah? So the first picture is of Michael Jordan, right? I know you know Michael Jordan, who's like one of the greatest of all time basketball players. Yeah, but the person you don't know about is the guy. This guy in the next photo, right? He's called David Falk, and David Falk is Michael Jordan's agent, right? And what they have done is they have connected professionally in that he is promoting Michael Jordan's talent. He is the one who went and negotiated with Nike that they promote the Jordan brand of shoes, right? He negotiated that Jordan has incredible talent, and actually the Chicago Bulls wasn't paying him enough, right? So he enabled him rise to the position of a superstar. Yeah. The next guy is, I know you know, Les Brown, and he is also a prominent basketballer. And the guy next to him is called Rich Paul, right? And he is his agent, who has been able also to connect him to different platforms and has enabled his name to be that prominent. So when you're on LinkedIn, right, you can be able to have access to people who can guide you all through your career, and you can be able to achieve great things, right? Great. So I'll take you
Jesse,
through
just a moment.
Yes.
Just a moment, Jesse.
Yes.
Lisa Dennis, I want to allow you to talk, and please just confirm if you can see the slides moving, and because sometimes we realize that at some point slides don't move and the participants are not able to see the slide moving. So I just want to give this test to, and Lisa Dennis, could you just confirm? You are muted right now, but you can talk, Lisa Dennis. So if you could unmute yourself and then just confirm if the slides are moving and you're able to see the slides. Well, Albert, Tioni, can you just confirm if the slides are moving and you're able to, just by just saying a word?
Hello, yeah, sure, I can confirm. The slides are okay, they are moving.
Okay, thanks. Carry on.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. So we'll go to like, how do you get started on LinkedIn? Yeah. We have seen its importance. We have seen how you can be able to improve and just grow your network on that platform. So now we want to get you started, right, on joining the platform and being part of this great network. Yeah. So one, when you go on LinkedIn, signing up for LinkedIn is as easy as signing up for Facebook or Twitter or any other platform, right? So all you need is just the specific and basic things. You don't have to write a code to join LinkedIn. You don't have to present your cover letter or resume, right? You just have to do these basic things that I will take you through. And I'm sure I'll be happy to guide you even after this on if you guys are having any issues in joining LinkedIn, I can be able to guide you, right? So one, taking a professional headshot photo is really important, right? So they say the photo actually it attracts 60% of employers. If you take a very nice photo where you're looking straight at the camera, you're smiling and you're enthusiastic, it will actually attract 60% of employers. And they will choose to go with you because you have a nice and compelling photo. So your headshot photo should have, one, a clear background. You should look straight at the camera. It should be a nice portrait photo, right? And it should have at least show your emotions of like enthusiasm and you're passionate about what you're doing. Yeah. Number two, we have the 320 word summary. This one is what I really want to emphasize on. There is that part which you'll be able to write like a synopsis of what you've been able to do in your professional world. Yeah, so that one really sets you apart from other people on LinkedIn because you can be able to see, employers can be able to see your unique value proposition, right? And what you're ambitious about and what change would you like to bring, right? So it just captures your career journey. Where are you right now? And what would you like to work on? What are your passions? What are your interests? What problems are you interested in solving? And that one is just captured in like 320 words in order to enable the person reading about you know what specific interest you have. Yeah. So once you've gotten into LinkedIn, yeah, and you have set up everything, I'll tell you about getting 5 all stars. All stars is when you set up everything and you have set up all information about your education, your experience, your skills, your interests, you've written the summary, taken a photo. Then the next thing is actually getting people, right? And connecting to people. So you have people you know you are interested in connecting to them, right? So it's just like Facebook. If I see a suggestion that Johnson is part of my network, I just send him an invite, right? So this is where the part of sending personalized invites to networks comes in. So you don't just send the request, but you write a message, right? Hi, my name is Jesse. I'm interested in data and analytics, and I saw you you have done a lot of things in that sector, and I'll really love to learn from you, right? Then I will definitely connect with that. So it's like you are there is a high possibility of someone accepting your invitation if you send them like a message. So it's personalized. Why do I want to connect with you at this particular moment? And what will I gain from this relationship, right? The virtual relationship that we are forming. And then number 3, when you're writing your activities, right, there'll be that section for experience and the activities that you're doing, like they should be consistent with your growth strategy. So where would you want to be? What impact would you want to make in that particular career? Yeah. And that one now dictates what activities I'm doing right now. For instance, if I want to get good at programming, I can say I'm learning different programming languages. I did Python, now I'm doing uh, another programming language, right? And learning a lot about the computer science, right? Or I'm taking a course uh, online, or I'm doing an extra class. So that one would show that the activities that you're actually doing right now are in line with where you would want to be in like 2 or 3 years, right? Then lastly, and most important point is you should always future recommendations from professionals. If I worked with someone, I just tell them, all right, you're good at a strategy. So, and I worked with you on strategy. So you should maybe endorse me on LinkedIn and say, and just recommend my skills, right? And endorse me and say, I've worked with him, he's really experienced in this. And LinkedIn will be able to show that you are actually endorsed with a person who's highly skilled in that. And that one increases your credibility in that. Then improving your LinkedIn account. If you already have one, this is how you could make it better. Yeah. Update your background picture and profile photo. We said it's really important. There's that default background picture that you'll always see. So if you update it, it increases your chances and your visibility, right? And the profile photo, as we said, if you follow those tips, you'll be able to have a compelling account. Refine the headline to suit your experience. The headline should capture the information of like, what is your career? What are you currently working on? Yeah, and what experience do you have in that, right? So if I am mostly interested in environmental science, I cannot write activities or things, experiences that are not related to environment. So they should always be consistent. Yeah. Then strong summary that highlight your career journey and ambitions. Your career journey, what you've worked on before, what you're currently working on, and what you will want to work on in future, right? Then the keywords in line with the field of interest. For instance, if I am interested in computer science, my keywords will be data analysis, will be coding, right? Will be web development, right? All those keywords that come with a certain experience are what you should include. Next slide, please. So there are really some common mistakes people make on LinkedIn that I would point them out, right? And really encourage you, even when you set up your account, please do not try to do this using a default headline. Yeah, LinkedIn will give you some prompts of like, this is the specific headline that you are to use. So when you use that one, like over and over again, there's nothing unique about you because, as you know, LinkedIn has close to 1 billion users, right? So if you use that default, there's nothing unique about you. Maybe 300,000 other people or 2 million other people are using the same headline. So it's hard for you to get an opportunity by using the default one, right? Be unique and be specific about what you want and the role that you want to play. So you using the phrase actively seeking employment, never use that phrase, especially I've seen people use that in the executive summary, right? So you don't write that because that one shows desperation. Think of LinkedIn as a platform of you marketing yourself and you not just showing how desperate you are in need of a job, right? So you're just putting yourself out there, you're putting your profile out there so that they can be able to see. Yeah, and the interested people will be able to reach out. And there is actually a button on LinkedIn that you could click. One of the videos that I think Lisa will share with you later on, I think it highlights that you can be able to click that. It's like a tab which you move on the right, and it shows that you are open for new positions. Right? So instead of actively seeking employment, it says that you're open for new positions. So that one will not reveal that you are not currently having or not having a job, but will show that you are actually willing to take on another job. Yeah, customizing your summary to suit your experience, not being consistent with your resume, right? Your resume might say, this year from 2011 to 2012, I worked at Dalberg and I did consultancy with McKinsey. Then your LinkedIn says, I actually did that for 5 years, right? So then the information there is not consistent, yeah. So you make sure that you make that information that you've written on your resume be consistent with what is on LinkedIn, because employers will always look for that. 60% of employers go through your profile on LinkedIn before they even give you a chance in the company. So it's important. As we continue wrapping up, we'll see LinkedIn evaluation, right? So how are you able to see that, yeah, I actually have a good profile, and to know that my profile can enable me to earn a position out there? Always make sure you've filled in all required sections to get all stars, right? Fill in your education, fill in your experience, fill in everything that you will need in order to get these 5 stars. And then use the strength meter to show level of expertise. For instance, if I am a programmer, right, and I'm trying to gauge my programming skills, if I'm a beginner, I'll just put maybe 2. If I am intermediate, I'll put 3. If I am highly skilled, I'll put 4. If I'm an expert in it, I'll put 5, right? So there's that strength meter on LinkedIn that shows the level of expertise that you have, and always be authentic while doing that. Don't go there and say, I have level 5, while you know truly you have level 2 or 3, right? And that one enables the employers to actually view how prepared you are for that role or position. Then writing articles to constantly reveal your growth process. You can write about a new course you've done or you're doing and how interesting it is, and always make sure it is in line with what you are trying to pursue, right? If it's economics, you write a lot of articles relating to that, and you try and improve over time, and you be consistent. Then last but not least, get evaluation from experts in the field, right? And there are very many experts out there, for instance, you've worked with, even if it's for a short period of time, just always and constantly ask them to endorse you. Right? Send them a LinkedIn invitation, tell them that, yeah, we worked with you on this project and I'd like you to please recommend me and endorse me for this skill, right? And if they do that, it increases your credibility. Yes. So with that, I will, yeah, come to the end of that short and brief presentation. And yeah, I'll hand it over to Johnson. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome, Jesse. And I wish all of us to give you a very nice, good clap. But unfortunately, we are doing this on video, so we can't do it. So just I'll say thank you on their behalf for such a nice and very fruitful presentation. I hope that all these attendees have learned so much, and now they're ready to ask you questions in relation to what you discussed, or if it is outside, but at least within this kind of topic, then that will really be nice. So I've got one question here from Isaiah Sikamba that reads that, I want you, sir, to shed more light on recommendation. I don't really understand. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. We'll go back to that. Thank you for that question, Isaac. So recommendation is, for instance, I claim that I have skills in communication, right? And if I don't actually prove it, it's hard to prove on a social media platform that I actually have these skills, right? So because you can just easily edit your skills. I can even write I'm a computer scientist, but I have nothing. I've done nothing regarding that. So as a way of like proving the credibility of this particular person is actually skilled on this, what feature LinkedIn has introduced is the recommendation part, where you're able to be endorsed by people who are highly skilled in that. Yeah, which means if you worked with a person who is highly skilled in data science and they actually shed more light on that and said, I worked with him and he is actually skilled in that, right? That one increases your credibility, that people will actually look at this and say, yeah, it's true, this person is highly skilled in data science. So it just poses that it helps you to be credible out there, and it also enables you to connect with people who are highly skilled, right, in your field of interest. So you will definitely and strategically look for these people, work with them for a while, or do one or two projects with them so that you can be able to get that endorsement. So recommendation comes in as it's a section on that, on the LinkedIn, where you endorse your skills. There's a skill section, you write your skill. Then the recommender will just come and write and maybe say, I have worked with Isaiah Sikamba, and he's actually a great data analyst, right? A great research scientist. Yeah, so that is it.
Thanks for that. We got two more questions. One is from Albert Tioni. On evaluation from experts, what if the experts are not in LinkedIn?
Okay. Yeah, I think it's, for now, it's very rare. It's on a scale of 1 to 5. I think it's almost a 2 to find someone who is not on LinkedIn, right? Because you've seen it's a billion people, close to a billion people, right, who are actually on LinkedIn. So that means like roughly 1 out of every 7 or 8 people are on LinkedIn currently. So it's rare. First of all, that's a rare case to find an expert who's not on LinkedIn. But if they're not, it's easy. It's easy for you to send them and just help them set it up, right? And then they can endorse you, because you cannot endorse someone if you're not on the platform. And then you cannot be an expert actually when you are not. LinkedIn can't recognize you as an expert if you have not joined their platform, right? So even that expert, in order to show their skills, they will need other recommendations from other people they've worked with. So that means if they're not on LinkedIn, I wouldn't advise you to let them endorse you, because their actual LinkedIn doesn't recognize their skills, right? But if they are on LinkedIn and they have a very good profile and you can see the track record of what they have done, then it will be easy for them to endorse you, because when another person clicks on their profile, they can see, actually, this is a person who's highly skilled in this, right? So, yeah.
Another question is from Sujan. How to increase our visibility in LinkedIn, in bracket search and relevant field, so that there is more possibility for us to get hired?
Okay, that's a good question.
I think it's talking about how to increase visibility in on LinkedIn.
Okay. So visibility is actually something that you will do by, one, you could as I said, writing and writing more, right? You write more articles, you write, you share experience on LinkedIn. That's how the more you share, it's just like on Instagram or other social media, the more you share, the more traction you get. Two, when you specifically target it to specific kind of people. For instance, I'm interested in marketing, and maybe I come up with different content on marketing, and I'm able to upload it consistently. So everyone who's interested in marketing will definitely be really interested in what I'm trying to do, right? So it's just being consistent with what you're publishing, right? The publications that you're making. And number two, you can get like a pro account on LinkedIn that can enable you to first view more job opportunities, and you can actually be able to be viewed by many other people. So your name will be like a priority. It's like just like search engine optimization, right? Where if you write a specific your name and your skills, right? If an employer is looking for a person with a certain skills, yours will be at a position of even popping up, yeah, before the rest, right? So that one is if you upgrade, and there are different levels of like the LinkedIn account which you can gain, right? If you actually have a paid account, you can gain more visibility, you can be able to access more courses and more content on LinkedIn, and some other really nice features. So that is just an example of, so one is if you want to do it effortlessly, you can get a paid account. If you want to consistently grow, which is the best option I will advise, is just you posting relevant stuff that you've done in your field. Yes.
Good, thanks. The last question that we have is again from Isaiah. When you have a written article within your field, do you have to post it, or you need to send it to the experts?
Yeah, so when you have an article, you just post it. It's just like an article, an Instagram post, right? But this one is more specifically professionally oriented. So you just post it for other people to see. So when you go to the LinkedIn homepage, you can even see the posts of others within your network that you've connected with, right? And other maybe people that you're following and companies. So it's just like a Facebook. Just think of it like a Facebook, but this one is for professional growth. Yeah. So you can post anything relevant to what you are actually pursuing or your field of interest, right? And everyone within your circle, within your network, would be able to view it. Yeah.
I think we have any other question. If any of you would love to ask another question, then maybe you can raise your hand, and then I'll give you time to speak. If you can't type whatever question you want to ask, so let me know by seeing who want to speak or ask a question to raise their hand. There's another question from Lillian. Having graduated recently and with no work experience, what would you emphasize on when writing the compelling word summary?
Oh, that's a very good question, Lillian. So one is you graduated recently with no work experience. Yeah, that is usually something that when you're writing the compelling summary, what you will do is concentrate on writing what you would like or what you're ambitious of achieving in that particular sector, right? And if you did an undergraduate study, that means you have some level of experience. Yeah, just taking that course in itself is an experience. Maybe you did an internship, 1 or 2 internships, count it as work experience, right? So just write specific things maybe you have done in that particular sector, even if it was volunteering, even if it was just anything that didn't get that job kind of feeling, but at least you did something in line with that particular field of interest. So I would really, I'll really encourage you to write whatever you've done and focus majorly on your ambitions and your goals in that sector, right? And what specific problem you would want to solve and what change would you want to bring in that sector. So don't worry if you don't have like enough or what people consider like extensive work experience. Concentrate on writing what you may have done or what you intend to do in the future in that particular sector. Yeah.
Seems like we have no any other question. I don't want to, cut you off. If you do have any question, then please feel free to ask before we end this. Is there anyone with another question? Good, so there's no one else with another question. So I think at this point, we are coming to an end. And once again, I just want to say thank you so much, Mr. Jesse, for taking your time out of your busy schedule to join us this evening, this morning to some of us, and to have this webinar done successfully. So I hope that we've all learned something, and I honestly appreciate that. So I can see.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. So Sujan has also said thank you for the lovely session, just passing that message too. And I believe all of them would love to say thank you. So thanks so much, guys, for joining this. I'll take it back to Lisa to just now officially close this session.
Okay, hi everyone. Thank you. I just sent a message thanking Jesse for his really informative presentation and for all of you scholars who were able to attend. I thought you had very good questions to get further information, and I learned a lot. My profile on LinkedIn is not very good, so I think I might have to improve it. And Johnson, thanks for the wonderful moderating, moving us smoothly through this webinar. If anyone has any questions further, you can certainly send them to Johnson or to me. We will try to answer them. Maybe we can have Jesse get in touch if he's willing to
Yes, sure.
have his contact details.
I will. Yeah.
Your email,
You will
maybe?
definitely give them my email. Yeah.
Great.
Sure.
Great. I have a few emails from other presenters as well, so this is going to be exciting for everyone. And as Jesse said, he shared with me 2 videos about your LinkedIn profile, improving them, little tips, and I will post those on the syllabus. I didn't do that this morning, but I plan to do that this afternoon. So if you are interested in more information from our expert, I will get it there. And I think that may be all. We're getting some nice comments. Everybody was very happy. So thank you. Thank you all, and good luck with your LinkedIn profile. And Jesse, good luck with your week and work in general. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Great.
Thanks so much, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.